It's the vibes. Yo, everything Gucci. It's live. Uh, this dude is crazy.
Alrighty. What's
We in the
going
mix.
on?
What we
What's going on?
doing?
I think we're in the mix, brother. How we doing? How we doing? Everybody in the chat, turning up. What's going on? What's going on? How you feeling, brother? How you
Shit.
feeling?
I'm feeling good, my boy. How you feeling?
Hey, man, you already know, man. I'm chilling, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? It's been a it's been a long day personally for your boy, but we doing good, man. Happy to be here. You
Yeah,
know.
I feel that.
So let's talk about let's talk about how this season ended because I think that this was sort of a crazy twist to everybody who's like been tuning in every week just to like
Yeah.
kind of see where we ended. Before we get there, let's talk about just like, how are you doing, Ranger? Like, how was your season one of the ASG Proving Grounds? Like, how are you feeling?
It was. I would say it was pretty solid. I got off to a pretty good start. The 4-1 points in the first week. Week two, was that the week that I went against Slashy? I think it was. Yeah, week two I went
Yes.
against Slashy. So I mean, it was literally a reverse of what I did the first time. I got
Word.
my 1 point, got bodied 4 times, but it is what it is. Week
Damn.
three was a good one. I got a 5-0 back. And
Mm.
week 4 was probably my favorite week. I enjoyed fighting Boss Man. It was a really, really competitive set. And I think should we have went on longer, it could have went either way. But every game was like it was to the wire. It was just really intense. So I think that was probably my
Yeah.
most exciting one. It was 3-2 in his favor, but it landed me in I think fourth overall in the end. So can't complain. It was pretty decent, and I'm looking forward to
Word.
season 2 though.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. So if this is your first time here, if you're looking at the bottom of the screen right now with that scrolling leaderboard, we always have like kind of like where everybody is, like where they stand, sort of in the event. But right now, we just have the top 8, where we're gonna go through the leaderboards for this stream and just kind of like talk about like as many of the players that we can for season 1. So like first of all, we just want to thank like everybody who kind of tuned in and got the ball rolling on
Mhm.
this first event, because this has never been done before. This is the first ever kind of cross play event where we took Xbox, PlayStation, and we put them all in the mix in this like league based system. So I just kind of want to talk about what we got going on and like some of the like misconceptions with what we're doing compared to like what it actually is. So I
Yeah.
think like first off, a lot of people like kind of think that this is a tournament. This is not a tournament at all. Like what you're seeing, it's not like a fight night. It's not a tournament. It's more so like a league. So if any of you guys have ever played like sports, basically what we're doing is like we've created a system where we have Xbox and PlayStation kind of put together in this like league based system where players get to play 5 matches. So like you fight 5 times, and whatever your final score is out of those 5 matches, we kind of calculate it, put it together, and sort of create like
Yeah.
an end goal on like where you stand in the league. So that's why we have like first place, second place, third place. And since this is season 1, what we're going to do with that information, we don't really know yet. So I think if this thing blows up and we're able to get like 30, 40, 50 competitors in there, then
Mhm.
maybe we can kind of like incentivize it, make it bigger, make it better. But for now, it's still sort of new. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the
Yeah,
result is
100%.
that we get, we're not really sure kind of like what's next, right? But we do know that the whole point of this and the whole purpose of this right now with the community of people that we have is like this is a place where you can get better, right? So
100%.
if you tuned in
And have
to
fun. Have fun and have fun and get better at the game.
absolutely. So like if you tuned in for the last couple of weeks, we've been like showing different fights of different people who've been playing, and for those matches, our whole goal is to sort of like let players know what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what they can improve on, like just like our own opinion on like from what we've seen at a high level compared to like what we've seen at like a casual level. And like this is sort of like a place where you can gauge sort of where you belong, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, 100%.
if it gets bigger and we get more higher level players to sort of sign up and play, then the gap will be a lot wider, you know what I mean? So that's sort of like the goal, and that's sort of like where we're heading. For me,
It's almost like we're in a sense we're creating like an alternative to Combat League, if you will. Like you don't get paid for winning Combat League or anything. You just get higher ranks and you get more recognition. And at the end of the day, people get sick of Combat League. I think this is like a fun, casual, but still a competitive way to get some like competition out in a game that like, some may say it's dying or whatever, but I think this is cool, and I think this is rejuvenating and bringing more people back into the scene. It's just we need to kind of get guys like more motivated and fully understand. And I think what you said earlier when you said we need to work on the clarity of the rules, that was like definitely right on the nail. Like I definitely want to go through and kind of show everybody step by step on how to get involved and once you're involved, what your role is moving forward.
yeah, definitely. So I mean, when we came up with the concept, one of the first things that I said I wanted to do was make a video. I wanted to make a video to kind of like show everybody, this is what we're doing, this is what we're supposed to do, this is what your role is as a player, this is what your role is, sort of like as a viewer, right? So that's kind of one of the biggest things. And I still think that I'm going to make that video just so like everyone can kind of understand where they're supposed to be. But I think, the biggest like point on what we need to focus on is, again, like we are coming from an Xbox background, and this is definitely like a PlayStation heavy environment. So we're
Hmm.
sort of like working against the grain, especially like you and I being on the Series X. For some reason, the crossplay on this game is just like really not compatible for like viewership, and like not compatible for like, tournaments and exhibitions. So we're really kind of going against the grain when it comes to like creating sort of like this new
Yeah,
world, this new league. So that's why I like to call it a league, right? Because we're getting all these fights from like cross-platform players, and we're sort of like putting them on the stage where we can sort of like see what's going on and just kind of like make something happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, and again, like
100%.
this is a brand new concept. So season 2 is going to be a lot better than season 1. So if you've tuned in from season 1, like
Yeah,
it's gonna be like the Fortnite effect. Like every season, we're just gonna come with some new heat, some more stuff. We're gonna personalize stats. Like it's gonna be really great, where you'll really get to see like where you are as a player in our league.
yeah,
So
yeah. You'll be able to see your improvement. Percentages will be there, your win loss and whatnot. So I think it'll be a good way to gauge like how much you're improving, at least like as a player individually, even if you're not like high on the leaderboard or whatever. If your personal stats are good, that's important too.
definitely. So I think like with that being said, let's sort of make a cameo to the leaderboards of season 1, and I think I'm not gonna lie, the leaderboards are definitely not what I expected, but they also kind of it also kind of is what I expected at the same time, right? So
Yeah,
from a viewer standpoint, just seeing how everything was from weeks 1 to 4, um,
yeah.
the leaderboards then are not what the leaderboards are now. So if you tuned into like episode 1 and 2, you would have saw that Slushy. Actually, that's my mistake. I've been saying his name wrong the
Yeah.
whole time.
He's
Also,
about to
it's a
come after your neck.
yo. So shout out to Slushy, but Slushy was number
Yeah,
one.
slushy like to drink.
Nah, for real. So Slushy was number 1 on the leaderboard for a very long time, right? And Alan was right there with him for a majority, and Slushy ended up finishing 7, which is still an impressive feat, seeing the names that are here. But I definitely think that I did not expect him to kind of like end the season like at 10, right? I predicted that he was going to get maybe, 13, 14 points, but he pretty much finished like 10, which is like right in the middle, right? That's kind of like you can only get a total of 20 points. So
Yeah,
20 points are the most that you can get. And he ended up finishing with 10, which, he got halfway there, which is pretty good. I mean, Slushy. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep saying that
this
wrong.
isn't a cameo to him to change his name to Slashy. You don't even got to change your gamer tag, bro. Just tell people it's
I
Slashy.
mean,
That's
everything
it.
makes so much more sense because, like, one,
Yeah.
he's a. For those who don't know, Slushy is a Scorpion player, so Slashy, Scorpion, swords, demonic.
Yeah.
It all works together. Um, and I know like we're kind of focusing in the middle of the leaderboards right now, but I just like there's so much about like Slushy that I could talk about. Like one, he uses Misery Blade Scorpion, right? Like Misery Blade
Yeah.
Scorpion is by far the worst unseen Scorpion out there, right? You see more Searing Rage Scorpions than you do, Misery
For
Blade.
sure.
Uh and I think that the fact that he was able to sort of like secure a top 8 spot with Misery Blade is very impressive. Absolutely. I think that players like that who are trying new variations, trying to give new looks, especially like where the game is right now, I think that like that sort of creativity is really good. But also with that comes like those higher level players who kind of already seen Misery Blade. They know how to stop it, right? So someone like Slushy, if he's gonna continue to go that route with Misery Blade Scorpion, he really needs to just like diversify what he's doing, especially like
Yeah.
on the higher level playing field. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your thoughts, though, Ranger? I mean, you said you played against him. Like, how did it go? And like, do you have any comments, Ranger? I think we lost Ranger. Everybody, he's
Oh, there
gone.
you go.
Now there
Yeah,
he
they
is.
just cut
What's
out
up?
for a second. I don't know. I don't know if it cut out on your end, but it just cut out for me for like 10
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah, nah, absolutely, it did cut out. But we're back
Were you
in.
asking me something?
Yeah, just what are your thoughts on Slushy?
Yeah, no, I played him week 2, and like the dude knows how to play the game. He definitely knows what he's doing, and I think all right, so like I don't know if you've heard about like the theories, but some people say that like I guess like in the NBA, they were trying to say like, oh, maybe the Nets are throwing these games so that they get a lower seed, so they have a better chance of going all the way. Because when you play at your best at the very beginning, you get placed in a higher seed, which is exactly what happened to Slushy. He got the 5-0 week 1 against Top Boy, 4-1 against me. Then week 3, he fought Trace P90 because they were in the same seed. That was a 4-1. And then he was still in second place at that point. So week 4, he ended up getting Xander, and they were battling for that same spot, and that was the 5-0. So I think, if he, let's say, if I were to either beat him 4-1 or 3-2, whatever it is, it probably would have put him in a better situation. He might have faced somebody a little bit of a different skill level, easier for him to manage at that point, I would say. But just because of the fact that he was kind of sweeping his way through weeks 1 and 2, it put him in a higher seed, which put him against really difficult people. But
Absolutely.
yeah, he knows what he's doing 100%. A lot of guys on here know what they're doing, and I think season 2 is gonna definitely open the doors for a lot more interesting matchups. And there's a lot of matchups that we saw that were really cool, but I
Mhm.
think there's even that we haven't seen that are gonna be really cool.
Definitely.
So that's why I got my sights on season 2 for sure. But yeah, Slushy, he knows what he's doing, and I think he's always gonna be a favorite to be somewhere within the top 8, regardless of what we do.
Definitely. And again, I mean, also, if you're in our Discord, you see kind of like how Slushy conducts himself. So, it's definitely he's one of those guys that people want to see lose, right? But time and time again, he sort of like does whatever he has to overcome that adversity, right? And he's definitely played the role of the bad guy. Um, and if you don't know what we're talking about, definitely join the Discord. You'll see it, and it's just really exciting stuff. And I just kind of want to move up the list. So after Slushy, oh my gosh, after
Hmm.
Slushy, we have Twisted, and Twisted is definitely another kind of like player to keep an eye out for. I actually played against Twisted, sort of coming to the end-ish weeks. I think I had him week 2 or week 3. I don't really remember, but he plays with Joker and Lou when I played against him, and I definitely think that he has a lot of potential. He's got to work on those confirms, in my opinion. Just knowing when it's his turn, capitalizing. But for the most part, he did really well. And I mean, I think a lot of people are probably wondering, like Typhoon, like you finished
Oh
fifth with
yeah, you
with
did play him week 2. That's right, because he filled in for Sully.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
nice.
I ended up finishing fifth, which I'm not I'm not mad that I finished fifth, but I definitely know that that's not a true placement for me personally. Um,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
so when you're talking about just like where we are and what happened for week 1, right? I ended up playing Allen, who you see finished second, and you know I didn't pick my main. I didn't really pick. I picked a character that I was working on, and it just didn't go as planned, right? I got 4-1 respectfully, like I lost straight up, you know what I'm saying? Like no excuses. I just like didn't get the games that I needed and I ended up losing.
Yeah.
And sort of like for every week after that, I had to just like kind of heat up. So I lost a match in every set that I played, which is why I finished with like 12 points after that. Like I think every match I did after that was a 4-1. Like I got like 4-1s across the board. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and that's sort of like kind of like what happened to me in terms of just like why I finished where I finished. And I definitely know that next season I'm probably not gonna like I'm not gonna hold back at all. I'm just gonna like give it everything that I got. I'm just gonna like go straight in with my main and just
Yeah.
like you know
I
just
was
like
telling you
game.
that off the jump. I was like, I am not playing with these demons in this Discord. Like, you play one game and chill all casual, get beat, and they're like, yeah, man. I
Yeah.
thought, dude, this is just your name, bro? You playing for real?
Nah,
This
facts.
is
And I mean,
like Everybody's scared of.
And I mean, again, like my whole thing is like, it was the proving grounds, and I felt like when it comes to my main, I've already proved that like I can win games. You know what I'm saying? So like, just giving off the fact that like I know that I can win 90% of the time, I wasn't really trying to just like, you know what I'm saying, like go and just demolish everybody. Like my
Yeah.
game plan was like, well, let me work on like pocket characters, but that is definitely out the window moving forward. I'm just gonna, be on 1,000 just every time and just start like practicing in casuals again. But yeah, you tied with me at fourth, and just like, how do you feel about that placement? Like, are you happy that you're there? Like, what are you thinking?
Uh, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it was it could have went either way. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there we go.
Yo, you good?
My speakers was busting for a second.
There we go. You
Yeah,
better?
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was saying, I think, yeah, like it was a very interesting, 4 weeks, and I think part of me wishes we got to play more because I know like not everybody got to get all their games in every week or whatever it may be, but I had a lot of fun and I was eager to get like all my sets in, weeks 1 through 4. So much that I wish I got to play more, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I think fourth. I mean, I expected to be somewhere in that top 8 area just based on what we had to work
Word.
with. I didn't
Yeah.
know exactly where I was gonna land, but I played with most of these guys, and I kind of know what it is in terms of like, skill levels and
Mm.
just matchup knowledge against them,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, just understanding everybody's play style. Like that's kind of what it is. Like I feel like I don't have the same amount of like in-game experience that a lot of these other guys have, but I think I got the mind game part of it down pretty well, and just kind of, playing on that playing field versus playing on like, fundamentals and whatnot. It's just different play style, and I kind of already knew like what to expect from most of these guys. There were some newer guys in there. I know Catenary Chip. I mean, I played with him a little bit, but I kind of knew what it was. We did
Yeah.
play some Aaron Black Mirrors and whatnot.
Yeah.
Side Strife, you know, I haven't played with him until I think actually our series was the first time I played with him, or maybe like a week before. I'm
Mm.
not sure, but he's another one. Didn't know much about him. Top Boy didn't know much about him, but I didn't actually get a chance to play him anyways. And Boss Man, I kind of knew what he was about just because even if you don't play with these guys, you can kind of see what they're talking about in the chat. And once you hear somebody beat somebody or whatever like that, you kind of know like, okay, he has to be at least this good because he beat this person, even if they weren't trying their hardest or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
He dub. So you got to
Absolutely.
kind of call that for what it is and know that somebody has abilities or whatever. But yeah, it was just interesting across the board to be able to kind of play with some of these different guys because I feel like for the greater part of this past year, me and you haven't really gotten a chance to really get acclimated with some of these newer guys in the Discord. I feel like we just kind of been on go, and
Yeah.
these guys just pop in. We've seen all these new names. Like I don't even know what happened to some of the other guys like Mythological and all these other guys. I just seen a whole new like it's like a new freshman class just pulled up,
Yeah,
and
nah, absolutely. But I
grounds
mean,
was a good
speaking
time for me to get to
speaking
know
of
them.
OGs, in third place we've got Trace P90, who's probably, one of the most notorious Liu Kang players out there. He is on Xbox and on PlayStation, and he's been in the Discord for a very long time. And a lot of people, probably haven't heard of him or probably don't see him around. But let me tell you something, like he gets active, bro. Like he is probably one of the better Liu Kang players that I've seen just because like his reactions are crazy. He knows how to close out fights, and I mean, I think that like
That's what it is. He knows how to close freaking fights, man.
and I think that like it was really kind of like humbling when, Slushy was undefeated and then went into that set with Trace P90 and only got one game on him. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of like tells you like what kind of player he is, right? Like when you see him, like you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just
Yeah,
like he's got it all locked. His fundamentals are crazy. He's a Liu Kang player, so you can't make a lot of mistakes against him because if you do, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
it's basically GG's. 2 crushing blows, 3 crushing blows. That's game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Meeting him too. I met him like a while ago, and it's funny because like I met him in like Combat League or something, and dude was just beating my ass. Like I don't even want to say he was beating my ass because they were close, but like I couldn't beat him. Like he was beating me every time. So I ended up. I think I hit up Tizzle to jump on and try to see if Tizzle can beat him. And Tizzle ended up actually knowing him already. They already knew each other. They had each other on their friends list. So like he kind of already knew what he was in for. And he was able to get the best of three on him, but it was like, and this is prime Tizzle we're talking about, like back when he was playing like real active, and it was a
Instead of this
close one.
ultimate Gohan Tizzle that we got now.
This was prime Tizzle, like not like you know what I'm saying. Even today, like chill Tizzle is still out here taking dubs and taking souls, but prime Tizzle was a different beast for
Nah,
certain.
facts. And I mean, of course, we have to just like take a moment to talk about the champion of this season, season 1, Xander. I mean, honestly, I think like it's no surprise.
Oh wait, we skipped Allen.
Oh, we skipped Allen. Oh, we talked about Allen in the beginning. Allen had a really great start.
Yeah.
Allen, he beat me 4-1, which was a huge upset. I mean, there's no other way to word it other than it was like a pure upset. You know what I mean?
Oh, did after
He
that,
just like,
Ida. Oh yeah,
and
Ida
then
for
after
Ida.
that he beat Ito. You know what I mean? And he ended up running into Xander, which is probably one of the reasons why he is where he is. And his last fight kind of went his way as well,
Yeah, he
where
had a
he,
good game against Xander. It looks like it was 3-2 in Xander's favor. That's not bad.
you know what
Pretty
I
good
mean.
run again.
And I mean, and with that being said, that kind of like exemplifies the player that Allen is. You know what I mean? Because like Allen is definitely like one of those like slept on players. Like you see him and you're just like, oh, you know, he's
Yeah,
easy, but he's so knowledgeable.
he
Just with like
improved a lot.
he's so and I think it's through his knowledge. Like he knows optimals. He knows what's safe. He knows what works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just does it, and I think like that's one of the reasons why I got 4-1. Like I expected it to be such an easy game, and I lost the first time, and I was like, all right. I got robbed the second time, so I was like, all right. Like
And you never want to get like beat into like switching characters. You're just like fuck this.
And then by the time it ended, I was like, oh wow. I was like, that's 5. Like damn, like there it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I won the last one, I'm pretty sure. And then after I won that one, I was like, all right, here it comes, like the reverse, like 5-0. But
Yeah.
again, like this isn't a first to 5. It's just 5
Yeah.
games, and that's sort of like the adjustment that like I had to make because after I won, I'm like, all right, it's game time. But he's like, nope,
It
that's 5,
wasn't. It
four
was
one.
game
There
over.
it is, GG's. So
Yeah.
this is definitely like a lot different than like other leagues and other things that are going on in the MK community, and that's what I like about it. Like this isn't just another exhibition. It's just not another first to 5. Like you don't get the
Yeah.
opportunity to 5-0 someone. Like to get that reverse 5-0. Like it's like no. Like if you play ass in the beginning, like you're gonna pay for
Yeah.
it. If you fumble the bag and throw a game, like that game could determine you from being in second place to being in 5th place. So
That's
it's
what I'm
like,
saying. Like if we did a first to 5, that leaderboard would look completely different. Like because like a lot of these guys would have adjusted like by game 3 to get their full 5 points every time. So we would have seen we probably would have seen you, Trace P90, and Xander like tied for 5 points every week until y'all fought each other. Like
yeah.
that's what would have happened.
And because it's an odd number, it's luck of the draw. So like someone's getting out of
Yeah,
that clean.
exactly.
And I mean, again, speaking of just like, improving and getting better, we have Xander at number 1. And I mean, I don't know if you've been like, if you watch like other streamers or other events, he's everywhere right now. Like,
Yeah.
Xander got a PlayStation,
Something on there.
and once he got a PlayStation, he just never looked back. He's in Slayers tournaments. He's on Outworld TV. He's on like events and exhibitions that have like 300 viewers, and then like 20 minutes later, he's in another event that has 5 viewers. But he's like, but he's playing like like he's like it's Evo, and I think that like you know it's you
I
know
mean, yeah, just made a career out of it. Like just joining
Ranger. I think he cut out again. I don't know if I cut out or if he cut out, but like, yeah, like just to kind of like pick up on like where he left off at, like Xander is a
Oh, did I
pin
cut out?
staple of somebody who, you know, he started out, he wanted to get good at the game. He wanted to do what he could, he wanted to be the best Scorpion. And I think right now, like he went from being called like Beaverk and all this stuff to like I jump in streams and when they're talking about Xander, like they're referring to him as like the Scorpion God. Like straight up. They're like, yo, this the Scorpion God Xander. Like and I think like with that sort of like I don't think anything has changed other than the fact that like he has the ability to go into these events now, so like he's known. You know what I mean? One
Mm-hmm.
thing that I've always said about Xander that I love that no other Scorpion does is he has the best movement that any Scorpion player has like ever achieved. Like a Verk doesn't move like he does. AJ don't move like he does, and that's no diss to those guys because like those are great players. But
Yeah.
but Xander's movement is just it's just better. You know what I mean? Like that's like
Yeah.
his thing. That's his niche. And I mean, like I just as
The
much
wavy, the
yo,
wavy.
people, I used to be like the shimmy god. Like that was like my thing because like my movement was like on 1,000. I think that Xander's movement is just as good, if not better, than mine as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Like no,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I still be shimmying dudes, but like the way Xander does it, maybe it just looks better because it's Scorpion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he does his thing. You know what I mean? So shout out to Xander. Couldn't be happier. Before we go along and just like move to the next part of the stream, I definitely do want to talk about like the bottom half of our list. We're not going to spend as much time as we did with the top half, but I definitely think that like all of these players deserve recognition. You know what I mean? Some of them you haven't seen on stream. Some of them we didn't really get a chance to watch, but when you sign up for season 2 and when you do this, like we'll definitely make it happen. So we have Sully and Bossman, right? Like right there, like 8 and 9, like swapping points, like, and it's all good. You know what I mean? Because like they just like they play really well. You know, like
Yeah.
like have you played either of these guys, Ranger?
I played both of them.
Wabbit Ranger?
I played both of them.
Word, yeah. And like,
So it was,
who does
yeah.
Bossman main? Who is his main? Is it
So
Fujin?
that's what I'm hearing. I played as Fujin quite a bit. I think when we played, I played a couple of his characters. I played his Kano. I played against his Kodal. I played against his Fujin. Many more in there too. I can't think of at the top of my head. But the Fujin was good, but I think the Fujin, if you know what you're dealing, see, he uses pressure bomb, which I respect the hell out of that because pressure
Absolutely.
bomb,
Shout out to
that's a
anyone who
cool move.
uses any sort of setup variation with their character. I
Yeah.
got respect for it. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. I think the only reason why like the Fujin gimmicks didn't work as well on me is because my whole idea about dealing with pressure bomb is to just do something because I find if you do nothing, that's what puts you in a really bad situation because once you block that pressure bomb, you're like really negative, I think. So like it's his turn and he could do kind of whatever he wants. So you have to either jump, try to poke him out of it, jump back, walk back. You got to do something. And he's got that other move. I think it's like back two where he pulls the wind into you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that move. And so like you got to really like kind of work with your timing because if you just walk back after pressure bomb, he might pull you right back into it and that's a full combo right there. So like being precise is really important when dealing with that Fujin. But I think the moral of the story is if you just sit there and block, you're gonna die because he's gonna grab you. He's gonna do all type of stuff to you. So you
Yeah.
got to do something. He pulls that pressure bomb out. It's almost like Kung Lao's little hat tricks.
Definitely. And then at 10 and 11, we've got Sai and Catenary. And I mean, we've seen them on stream and we've definitely talked about like just like their effort and their work.
Hmm.
Catenary, I like his noob a lot better than I like his Aaron Black, just from like when I played against him. I think like if
Yeah,
he kind of
I
went the
can
noob
concur.
route, he would do better. And Psy's a good Scorpion player, but I mean, again, like I personally play with Xander every day. So like when it comes to being a Scorpion player, you gotta really like bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like confirm everything. Like just be on
Yeah,
it,
there's
for everything.
a
And I
lot
think like
to do.
if Psy works on that, like he'll be 50 times better. And I think that he can go from like 7 wins to 17 wins. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, it's just I mean I talked to him the other day. I just told him, man, Scorpion is a really tough character to use because like he's really good at what he does, but he
oh
also
yeah,
has a lot of losing matchups.
oh yeah,
And because he's got these losing matchups, you're just gonna lose matches that like you're always gonna feel like you shouldn't lose because you clearly are displaying, higher character knowledge or whatever it may be.
yeah,
But you get put in certain situations with Scorpion, there's not much you can do. Like you're gonna lose to really silly stuff.
yeah. Um, I don't really know much about Ito, but I do know Hiroshi, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like really disappointed that Hiroshi is where he's at. I definitely think he deserves a lot more than 3 points. Um I know he got matched up with Xander, which that's just like GG's 100%. But
Yeah. I
but
mean,
I
he didn't play after that week. That's what it was. Week one, he had a strong week, shot it against D3. He won that set 3-2, which was really impressive, I think.
yeah.
And uh, and then he moved right on to Xander, which again, that blame challenge automatically paired you guys up for the first 2 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, and I
So that's
mean,
what it was. And what's funny too is I don't even know if you realize this, but in week one in the original bracket, it put Hiroshi and Xander against each other in the first week. And I corrected it just because I felt like we already knew what it was. We didn't want to like put them in that situation. And they're
yeah,
brothers. Like I felt like they wanted to do something more fun.
they probably
So I
played a
shook it up
thousand
more
times.
this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, like crazy. So but then he got him again the second week anyway. So I was like, well, nothing I can do this time.
You hate to see it. And then,
Yeah.
there's Acid Rain and Top Boy, and I mean, I just want to say like I played with Top Boy. Like none of these guys are bad players, right? Like you look at these numbers and you look at their ranks and you look at where they are and you're like that's the worst of the worst. And it's just not true. Like yo, I played with Top Boy not for the tournament, just like, to play with him. And like he's doing like good things. I'm getting shimmied. He's a Scorpion player, right? So there's that. But he's doing all the right things, but he's just gotta like he has commitment issues. And I think the thing is with Scorpion, a lot of Scorpion players have commitment issues. And what that means is that means you're using Hellport cancel, right? We all know it. You're
Yeah.
using Hellport cancel. You're hitting me. You're getting the hit, and then you're canceling away. Like you wasted your meter after you hit
Yeah.
me. And I
It's
think that
tragic,
like
man. I hate to see
and
it.
that is like a bad Scorpion habit. Like because every time you cancel away, like you need to do like something with it, right? Like you need to either reset, you either need to like get what you got to get. And if you confirm on a string and you bounce and cancel away, like you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting me, you know?
Don't want to cut you off real quick. I just want to respond to Blade Bar in the chat real quick. We're currently just discussing. We just concluded the first season of our weekly tournament in our Discord server. So if you're an MK11 player, whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever it may be, just hit exclamation point Discord. You can join our Discord and get more information that way. But basically, we got a weekly tournament. This was the final day of it, so we're just kind of recapping on it and going over the leaderboard, showing what everybody did, things we like, things we don't like, and we're gonna move on to season 2 starting tomorrow.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think it's a great cameo. Again, shout out to everyone that's at the bottom of the list, man. I can't wait to see you guys where you improve. And I mean, I think it's a perfect cameo just to, shout out what we got going on. So, if you go on the Aqua Society Gaming website or just click exclamation mark Discord in our server,
Never mind, doesn't work. I think
never
it's only on
mind.
my personal one.
Ranger
I'll
sucks.
put there for him.
Yeah, Buff Ranger. So yeah,
Wow, what else can I look like?
if you go to the Aqua Society Gaming website, which is you go on your phone, you can go on the computer. The link is right there. There's a URL. Just type that in while you're listening. You can
Can
click
you
on.
actually pull up the website real quick so you can just see it?
We're looking at the website right now on stream.
Oh, okay. My bad. I have it paused.
Buff Ranger. Um, so yeah, if you if you go on the Aqua Society Gaming website, you can basically just click on that blue button right here that says join our Discord right under our community info. This will basically tell you about what we do. Click on that button, join the Discord. If you don't have the app Discord, get the app and then join it. It'll be way easier. And again, you'll be in the community, which you can see right here at the bottom left. This is our community right here. This is everyone that's online. You'll be able to just like check it out, join. And I'm actually, before I end the stream, I'm going to go in the server to show you guys how to sign up for season 2. Make sure you guys are there. But yeah, this is the website. Make sure you guys, when you get some free time, check out our blog, by the way. We have a nice blog. We just had an interview with Wasminator. Really dope podcast. You can click on that, read it. You can read about our Proving Ground event, which is what we're doing right now. And just like all the stuff that we're doing in the community, you can just like really get a chance and check it all out. So again, click on that Discord button, join the link. This is just an article that we have right here. Let me see if I can go back to the homepage. Bam. You can see our upcoming events. This actually isn't true. We have an event coming up soon, so we got to update that. But click on join the Discord. You'll be there. And then once you're in the Discord, it's going to look a little something like this. Bada boom. So here's our Discord, right? Once you're in there, you're going to want to go to this part, events. Click on this. And then you'll be able to see sort of like the Proving Ground event right here. MK11 Proving Ground Season 2. It doesn't matter if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever platform. It lets you know when every week is taking place. It tells you the rules. And all you have to do is just click on this to react and register. So if you check it out right now, we can just take a preview at who we have for Season 2. So I'm already
And can you from Streamlabs as the ASG page, could you put a link to the website because it won't let us type links because a freaking Nightbot wants to be a Nazi bot. I might fire Nightbot for good.
I got
getting
you.
on my nerves.
So link to the website is in the chat right now. Just check that out. And you know what, Nightbot? Everybody hates you, but it's all good. He's just a RoboCop of the community. You know what I'm saying? He does his thing.
Time does not pay.
So yeah, definitely go to events in the Discord. Just click on that. You'll be able to see what we have. We got Proving Ground Season 2 right here. All you got to do is just click on this little green check mark, react to it, and register. And we can take a look at who's in there right now. So we got Ranger again. We got Stu. Oh, man. Stu in the mix. For those of you who read the blog, you will know about Stu. We got Synosis. We got TFS Space. We got Slushy, Meme Dealer, Boss Man, Twisted. We got Sage. Oh, my gosh. Talking about the OGs. We got Sage in the mix this season. We got Alan. Catenary Chip. Is that Gelati? Gelati. We got Top Boy, like Mike Jack. We got Tizzle, and then we got myself, all signed up, all ready to go. So we got a pretty solid lineup for Season 2. I don't know what to expect, but I do know that I will not be sandbagging or holding back like I usually do. I'm just gonna be on 1,000. Hopefully, I can get the crown for next season. And yeah, since Xander won Season 1, I think he's going to get a special role in the Discord. So you'll be able to see that he was a Season 1 champion for the Proving Grounds, which is like pretty dope. And yeah, I think we might write a blog just recapping the whole thing, letting everybody know what we're doing, what's going on, just sort of like so they can understand. And again, if this is your first time here, every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we do a recap where we showcase some of the fights. We talk about, what we're seeing, what we like, what we don't like. And yeah, I know the stream started a little bit late, but again, this is a place to improve, right? The Proving Grounds are where you get better. It's where you learn how to be a better player. I would say, we don't try to like dog anyone on stream. Like Ranger and myself, we definitely want people to just like get better. We want people to learn, just take advice. And, if they really just enjoy the game, we want them to go out there and win because, like, again, at the end of the day, the way me and Rangers see it, it's like, yes, we're all here to be the best, but, like, if you're in the ASG community, no one's going to pull up on you and just, like, flock you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be, with some of the best unknown players. You know what I mean? And if you do get known, just don't forget where you came from. That's why we got the proving grounds. You feel me?
That's a fact.
So yeah, Ranger, any last words before we wrap it up?
That's about it, man. Other than like for anybody who's tuned in that's looking to play or that's already in the bracket, one thing I do want to touch on is one of our biggest issues in season one was just trying to keep a consistent bracket every week because we know it's tough for some of you guys to commit to every week. So we're trying to and we're still kind of in the works right now, but we're trying to work out a method where like, maybe if you guys can't make it a certain week or whatever, we could do a check-in of some sort, whatever. That's kind of what you're seeing there. So it's all trial and error. Things may change in the, foreseeable future. We're just trying to find a way to work things out where you guys can play when you're ready. If you're not ready, that's fine. You won't be added to the bracket or whatever it may be. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, that was kind of the biggest issue last season, I think. Just, we had a lot of no-show fights and it really threw points off for us. Some guys might have actually moved up or down on the bracket based on if those fights actually happen. And that's something that, like, obviously we don't want that to happen in the long run. So that's kind of the big thing. Just kind of look out for that. And if you're somebody who, you're interested, just please try to be on top of communication. Let us know what's going on. So that way, while we're putting brackets together, there's no crazy mishaps and nothing gets screwed up.
Absolutely. So again, if you guys have any questions, make sure you just ping a referee in our Discord. Make sure you reach out to Ranger and myself. Our biggest thing is we want to be as responsive as possible and just like make sure that we can help everybody out and just like tap in and let you guys know what's going on. So if there's any questions, make sure you hit us up in the Discord. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow if this is your first time here. And we will see you guys next Sunday. All right. Yes, sir.